Sex is a huge marketing tool in today's climate. Though it's not anything new in society, I do believe that in the last few decades that sex has been amped up to really sell products in our current society. From music, TV shows, video games, sex is everywhere, and I believe it's getting worse. Seems like every year you find more softcore pornography in every medium, including ones made for kids. And for anyone getting into an anime or manga, or if you've been part of this culture for any amount of time, you understand that it's no different when it comes to entertainment in Japan. I remember when I went to Japan for the first time and I walked in a conveni and I literally saw like porn magazines right there for anyone to grab. While usually pornographic content that's being sold in America is usually in buildings that have no windows or you can't see the inside. I was kind of shocked how the Japanese are so laid back when it comes to sexual content. But before we get started, this is Burnt Sushi. My name is Kyo. I do anime, manga, and video game reviews on this channel, mainly from Japanese culture. So if you guys are enjoying the video, like and subscribe. And because I'm also American and Japan is a Western country, there's going to be differences in how we view sex. Like even recently, the age of consent raised in Japan from like 13 to 16, which me as an American, I wonder why is the age so low. And then you see in a lot of manga and anime that there's always a fetish for young girls, even children, even older women that look like children. There's always some kind of, PDF file feelings or aura going on. And if you're ever watching anime or reading manga with other people who may not know about this genre, there's always a risk of them thinking that you're watching some X-rated content because of how regular fan service is in manga and anime. And when I'm talking about fan service, of course I'm talking about sexual fan service. Me personally, I don't mind it if it adds to the story or it makes sense for the character. Like for example, Faye Valentine in Cowboy Bebop. Her character is a seductive young woman, so it kind of makes more sense to kind of, display more fan service with her. But then you see a lot of shonen, especially in my era growing up in the 2000s and the 90s, where there'll just be random sexual scenes and moments just because it's supposed to be funny. And I think a lot of manga treat sex how we, I guess, see pornography. Like it's this magical thing and it's very bastardized, if that makes any sense. Anyone will tell you X-rated videos is not real sex. It's a performance to get you stimulated, because the more stimulated you are, the more you're gonna buy the product. And that's the same when it comes to anime and manga. A lot of anime and manga's audience is young males, so of course you'll do any and everything to make sure that they keep watching or they're invested in your product. And a lot of young men have a lot of hot blood, so of course they're going to be stimulated when they see anything hot on the screen. So of course you want to take advantage of that stimuli to get people invested in your work, whether it's video games, manga, etc. I particularly don't like fan service when I feel it breaks the pace of the story or it has no meaning to it. Like a character can be talking about something serious and all of a sudden he trips and falls and grabs the girl's boob for no reason because it's funny. And I do feel in the greater scheme of society, sex is just a very shallow way to get people invested or to get people to buy your product. Because where I am in life, I look for things with a lot of depth, or there's meaning to it, or there's some kind of importance to what's being done. A lot of fan service in anime just tends to be, hey, look, isn't this funny? Oh, it's sexual. Ooh, does it get your stimuli moving? Almost to the point where I do feel like there's no realism to sex when it comes to a lot of fan service. Now, I know there's plenty of anime and manga that take a more realistic view when it comes to sex, and it's more so ingrained in the story or it makes sense for the setting of the story or the character. But I don't get that with a lot of anime and manga that do fan service. I think a lot of creators do fan service in a way where they think that this is what young boys and young people or even young adults think what sex actually is, when it's not. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I don't like cheap ways to get people invested in your work. And it goes even beyond anime and manga. It goes to business, it goes to music, it goes to entertainment in general. I understand if it's used in a proper way that makes sense for the product, but when it's just there just to get your attention, just as a cheap hook to get you invested, I tend not to like it too much. And it goes even to the greater extent of how female characters are used. A lot of female characters, especially in shonen, tend to be just used for fan service. There's no depth to this character. There's nothing more than just liking the main character or having romantic feelings. This person as an individual is shallow and they're just used as a ploy to stimulate men. I'm not a feminist or anything like that. I just don't like cheap ways in getting people invested in a product. Various people will have various views on this subject. Some people don't mind because they're used to it, but definitely I can see for a lot of people wanting to get into this medium that this could be a potential hurdle for a lot of people. Simply because Japanese have a very different way of how they approach sex in their work, even though in the greater scheme of things, every society uses sex as a way to market and get people invested in a product. So that's my view of fan service in anime and manga. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell as well to get notified whenever we post a video here on this channel. Thank you guys for your time. And if you're interested, check out any of these videos here. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.